What's up, guys? We're back at it again in another Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Runick Generaider going up against Fire King Snake Eye deck, one of the big bad meta decks of the format here. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, host the channel a lot. We are on the road to 10K, trying to hit that before the end of the year. We are going to be seeing a die roll here with the Runick Generaider deck, choosing to go first, winning the die roll. The power of the Runick cards are definitely going first. They are pretty good board breakers as well. When you're able to set up numerous turns of, drawing during your turn and then drawing during your opponent's turn, maybe even popping one card, drawing two is pretty nice. We're going to be seeing a tip being hit in the draw phase. Searching for a copy of the Fountain most likely here. And we're going to be banishing a copy of the Veiler from the opponent's deck. And we are going to proceed to the main phase. The Runick cards are really cool when you're able to interrupt with the Generator cards. We're going to be seeing them put the Fountain on the field, and then we can activate any of the Runick spells to actually summon out a copy of the level 9, which is going to be the Sleipnir. We can then activate the effect of Fountain to draw 2 additional cards, and because we control a level 9, we can actually activate one of the powerful cards from the deck, which is going to be World Legacy Monstrosity. Before the Runick cards were out, this was a little bit of a you have to have a way to get to your level 9s on the field. But now with any of the Runick cards, it being essentially a 2-card combo, going into a copy of like Vala or anything else, to be able to summon out the 2 level 9s here, which is just going to be like half essentially of a XYZ, which is really cool because once you use Vala on the field, you can actually send it to the graveyard. If you have a way to detach it off the XYZ material, then you can activate the effect, pitching one of the cards from your hand to summon itself out, and then get that additional. So you're essentially getting like an F0 or 2 rank 9s for free, or I guess off these 2 cards. We're going to go for a copy of the Phantom Beast that rips a card from the hand there, and then we're going to be hitting a copy of the Ponix, and then we get to go once again with another copy of a Runick card to go into that level 9. We're going to then get to go for a copy of the second one, trip another card from the hand. We're hitting a Wanted. We can then XYZ into a copy of F0 and then Utopic Future, which is going to be a Omni Negate for monsters to be able to take from their field as well, which is quite good when you're playing against Snake Eye Fire King, being able to take either the Ponix, which we did see get banished, or a copy of Snake Eye Ash, therefore allowing it to not activate the effect and essentially getting that copy of Oak. You are going to be a little bit of a struggle there to not be able to play through that. We're going to activate a Bonfire, though, which can let us search for a copy of Ash, Oak, or Poplar, and it's going to grab us a copy of that Poplar. Poplar's effect is going to be able to activate due to it being special summon from the hand, or being added to the hand there other than by drawing it. Special summon itself out. They're going to activate the effect. It's going to get hit with a copy of the Flashing Fire, and it's going to be negating it, and then banishing the top 3. We see a Wanted Witch, and then I believe an Imperm as well. And then we have to activate the effect of, no Fountain. We're asking how many are in the graveyard. They have only 2 in the graveyard, so not activating the effect therefore means that they have another card in the hand. Or we do Ash that. Okay, that's what we do. So they try to draw, we just Ash it. My bad. We then can normal summon out an Oak, so our hand was not that good. The Ash being the top deck for a turn. We are going to be negating the Oak and then summoning it to our opponent's side of the field. This is going to be one of the powerful combos, and we've essentially pretty much lost at this point already. Going for the Link Rebo, then Poplar is going to be able to spell and Trap Zone itself. We then go for a Typhon, and Typhon should A, not be in our deck. B, as soon as we do that, it's going to be essentially just game over there. We beat over the Oak, it gets back to our field, then we activate the Typhon effect, bouncing it back to the hand. But they have the Vala, which can send itself to summon itself out, and we just scoop. We had the Poplar in hand as well. If I don't have Poplar in hand, I have Flamebird, and if I don't have Flamebird in hand, I have Ponix. And we saw there, I had Ponix and Poplar in the hand. Talk about a not the greatest hand, but we still were trying to make it a play. A lot of the times you do lose to 1 copy of like a hand trap. In this case, we ended up losing to 2, and that copy of the Utopic Future is actually very problematic. Going to be able to stop us from getting that Flame Burge, because if we didn't have that, they had an Imperm instead. We could have potentially maybe pushed through, used it as a link material and able to climb up. But unfortunately for us, we weren't able to. It also does not help that we drew Ash for turn, but fortunately for us, we were also able to Ash the Fountain during their turn, or our turn here. So stopping that draw 2 is quite nice. But moving on to game 2, we are going to be choosing to go first. Therefore, we're going to have the advantage. The Runick cards are very good, especially Destruction against the Snake Eye deck, because when Flamebird puts a card in the back row, it's going to be considered as a spell and trap. Therefore, you can actually destroy it. And not letting us summon, and especially if you activate the Flamebird and you chain it to it, destroying that card, banishing the top 4 cards of the deck. And with the Fire King version of the deck, which I wanted to mention earlier, that there are lots of cards that you get heavily punished with by one of those copies of a Runick card. So, like, for example, we activate the Diabell Star, sending the copy of Garunix here. If the Garunix got hit with a copy of the like a Runick spell, hurts our deck a lot. The Origins is not that bad, you know, because you can recycle it with the Wanted. But like essentially, we have like Flamebird, Garunix, Ponix, Arvada, the islands, even like Circle is not the greatest, or even, you know, once the island's gone, hitting, I guess, the Sanctuary also would be pretty bad. So you could debate that Sanctuary is also not the greatest. But we're going to go for Ash. Ash, I'm going to Poplar. Poplar is going to be able to go the Spell and Trap card zone, going for a Link Rebo, activating the effect of Ash, which we should be sending the Link Rebo there, because we don't need it on the field. But we're sending the Ash, or the Oak, the Poplar instead here. And then we're going to be Oak reborning out the Poplar. We can then go into a copy of the Flamebird by activating Oak's effect here. And there is a few lines we can take now. Now, you probably should have sent with the Oak, we probably should have sent the Link Rebo and kept the Poplar on the field. And that way we can link away the Poplar as well as the Flamebirds to go for a copy of like IP. We are going to go for the Wanted, add the Diabell Star, then we're going to Wanted, put back the Origins to draw one. This is actually going to be really nice because we haven't used the Poplar effect to actually search it. So when we can summon out the Poplar, we will be able to search for it for follow-up, which is really nice. And so yeah, this is where we realize we actually screwed up. We should not have the Link Rebo on the field. It should be a copy of Poplar, but we're then going to go for an SP because this deck does sometimes allow you to be able to play through these cards. When you misplay, then we're going to be summoning out off the SP. We're going to go for, or off the Flamebirds, we're going to go for the Poplar as well as the Ash. We should have chained the SP there because it would have helped us protect from a Bell, but they are playing Runick cards, therefore Bell is most likely not in their main deck or in their deck. We're then going to go for the Flamebird, summon back out by going with the Princess. Then Flamebirds are going to be putting the SP in the Spell and Trap card zone. We then can go for a copy of the Amble Whale, which is going to be another form of interruption here. I always look in the extra deck. We are playing the Celine and Axcode package at the time, which is definitely not the correct play, but you kind of can't just change your plays there. We set 2 additional cards and pass. And they're going to activate a tip. We do chain Ash Blossom. We're saying essentially no copies of Fountain for you. And they have the Soul Release here. And they're going to be targeting the Garunix, the Ash, the Poplar, as well as the Princess. And we do have a Bell for this. You know, being able to have Ash Bell is absolutely crazy. If we were going up against Labyrinth, they'd be absolutely just cooked. They'd be shivering seeing this hand right here. They do still have 4 more cards, which are going to be a normal summon of level 4. I'm not going to try to pronounce this card name anymore. But we have the Call of the Grave for it as well. Oh my gosh. Holy, if we were playing its Lab, they'd be just absolutely devastated. You imagine, like, ashing their spell, then are ashing their trap, belling their other trap. They have, like, Kuklok to try to play turn 0. You end up Call and then graving it. And then having the Ash and Bell anyways. Holy. That's just a god hand there. We were cooking. That's something that I want to talk about with the deck. Like, a lot of times you can play the deck not the best. Like, we were not playing very good there. But the deck is so high powered that you're actually able to make those misplays and still end up on a really good board. Like we saw there that IP should have been made over the SP by setting the Link Rebo instead of the Poplar when we activated the Oak effect. But that would have allowed us to make the IP, and then IP would have been able to we would have been able to actually put the IP in the Spell and Trap card zone and then go for IP into an SP if we needed to, using the Flamebird and then going for the other cards. Or we could have gone for like a Nightmare Phoenix, depending on what we were playing as well. Being able to discard and potentially even draw a card because of the Amble Whale as well, you know, being co-linked. But, you know, you live and you learn. I think it's something really cool. I'm just going to double check my zones. The copy of Princess actually points both directions, so we could have like made Princess first, pop the Amble Whale, and then put that in the middle zone, and then actually gone for like IP into the Nightmare Phoenix. and then be able to still draw as well because it's co-linked. So like very important that like there are these combos that you can see that lets you draw a card and then discard a card, so you're not losing really anything. Need like a +2 as well, which is really cool. So we could have like potentially even gone for an Appaloosa line. But moving on to game 3 here, we never get punished, but the IP lines are very, very nice. We're going to be seeing the Runick Generator going first once again here. Looks like a hand of all spells too. They're going to be thinking on this. We're going to see them activate a copy of the Fire to summon. Going for that copy of the Sleipnir, having a level 9. Therefore, we can potentially... We're going to still boss stage set 1 pass. We're going to draw for turn here, and then we're going to be able to actually go the effect of boss stage 1, Sleipnir 2. Summon out a token. Then we're going to be able to summon out a copy of a Har as well, being a form of negate. Then we're going to activate a Wanted in response to the boss stage trying to summon out the other bodies. And we were hoping that we could maybe bait out the copy of the Har there, but unfortunately we do not. Searching for a copy of the Diabellstar here, which is fine. We are going to see the tokens being summoned out. They should be in attack position, but it doesn't really make a difference. The chances are we're not going to be beating over those cards anyways. But we are now thinking here. I think we have another copy of Wanted in the hand as well. So we're going to go for normal summon Snake Eye Ash, activating its effects. And they do have a copy of the Fire Turn that's trying to pop this. We do have the Kieran, or try to negate this. We do have the Kieran there, and they do end up negating that with the Har. We do get to banish the cards. And we hit the Island as well as a Poplar. So 2 cards that are really good to hit. Of course, also the Imperm, but that doesn't really matter. Just kind of tells you, I guess, we are negating the Ash. We do have a Bonfire as well, so we can search for the second copy of Poplar. And then we are going to hit a card out of our hand because we are adding a card to the hand there. Or we send a monster. Okay, we get to choose. So we're going to send the Ash from the hand. I'm just going to get rid of our hand. It's pretty good, though. Getting rid of a 1 card in the hand. And then, of course, off the Poplar, we do search for the Origins. Especially once you get rid of a card from their hand, sending that monster, we could have used that for Diabellstar. That would have been kind of important to note. We then go for Poplar, then in spell and chat. We'll link away for Link Rebo. We're going to go then Ash, sending the Poplar. And we forgot it's negated. That's kind of misplay number 1. And then we're going to activate the effect of the Origins here. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that was negated there. That's horrible. And we have to summon out the Oak, but summoning out Ponix here. Ponix effect. That's going to Sanctuary, but we banished the Island here. Oh, we don't realize that we banished the Island. Okay. So yeah, we're going to activate the Sanctuary, and we forget that the Island is banished. That is quite unfortunate for us. Wow. So we are out of islands here. So we're just going to be passing it. Misplay number 2 going into the last game. We're going to be then activating the effect of the Wanted to put back and then getting a draw here. So going to be activating the effect of the Diabellstar, sending a copy of the Wanted to set and Origins, which is just not great for us. We essentially, not necessarily through the game, but we could have gone for like a link up and then like actually do some damage here, which is just unfortunate for us. We're going to be forced to go into a Typhon, which we shouldn't even be playing. So kind of on us. But looking here, we then can go for a copy of the Link Karibo. Go for an SP. SP can banish the copy of the Har. And that's going to be fine. We're going to have to go battle phase, and then start a battle. They're going to go activate the effect. We are going to be chaining the SP there to get rid of itself and a token. And this way we're getting to keep the Sleipnir in the extra monster zone, so they can't activate another Runick card to summon out like a copy of the Hugin, which then inserts them for the field spell, wanting to get that additional draws. So we're trying to keep it into the extra monster zone there, and we're going to see during the end phase the token's going to disappear. We do get the SP back, and we have an additional set. I guess we have the origin set, not really an additional set. But we have a little bit of follow-up. I can't believe we forgot Ash, and then also activating the Sanctuary afterwards. Going from one misplay to the next, it's just rough. They're going to think here, and they do have the level 4, so they normal summon it, activating the effect. Go for a copy of most likely the Vala or the copy of Mardell. And then Mardell will be able to activate her effect. They'll be able to search. But we have potentially a copy of Valor, I think. So we have Valor for this, going to be able to hit it. Now we have just Origins in the hand there, so not the greatest for us. I can't believe we could have Flamebird pushed back that, had, IP line, and then we could have had even potentially OTK. Could we just banish the tokens, they don't come back? Yeah. There was something with the Har back and attack position, then Princess Pop. Yeah, we would have had game there, wow. Definitely not the greatest for us. We're going to go for the Jamungle, and then we're going to go for that. Being able to attach, and then we go for the Vala here, then we can bring back out the Mardell, and then we can just essentially going to go for the Hand Rip guy here. And then they hit a copy of Bonfire. Then we can go for a copy of the F-Zero once again. We're going to set a card and pass. They are under a Runick spell, so they can't attack. So we are a little bit lucky in that sense. We're going to go draw for turn. They're going to be able to go boss stage, and then Vala. Vala can summon back out, and then it's coming out the level 4. Then we're going to go for the tokens being summoned. We're summoning it in attack position correctly this time. We have the Har negated, so we will be able to kind of like protect, essentially, ourselves not from getting an Omni. And we do have the Origins we can actually put back. And then we go for the level 4, go for the copy of the castle there. We get to search. We're searching for a copy of the Oak, putting back the Ash from the deck. And then we have the copy of Wanted, which can banish to put back the copy of the Origins there to draw. And we did just put Ash to the bottom of the deck, so it doesn't really matter, but they are going to cut. Kind of funny that it was there. And we do draw into a copy of Cosmic, which is not going to do anything for us, which is very unfortunate, but oh well. We're going to then normal summon with the Oak, activate the effect here. We're thinking we're going to get hit with a copy of the Draco Future, but they can't steal the monster, so it is kind of fine. We summon with the Poplar. Poplar can activate its effects. We do get hit with a summon limit. That's going to be quite problematic for us, but we do have the Cosmic in this, going to be able to pay 1,000 and have it, talk about a top deck. That top deck went from bad to just insane. And then we get to search for that copy of the Origins here. we can activate the Oak to send, but the problem is that it's not going to get us anywhere. So we potentially have to go for like a Link Rebo, putting the copy of Poplar in the Spell and Trap card zone. And then this is going to let us have an additional send for the copy of Oak. We have to find a way to get the Ash onto the field, which is going to be quite problematic if we do get hit with it. But like we have 2 cards in our hand. I believe one of them is, of course, the Origins, which they know. And we can't activate the effect because we already activated the effect of the Graveyard this turn, which is very problematic for us. If you could activate both the effects, that'd be pretty nuts. But fortunately, they said, yeah, we're going to make a already nutty card not as nutty as potentially it could be. But could you imagine? That'd be crazy. You just have to get like a search during your turn 1. You get, if you opened up Wanted, you potentially get a draw 1 plus a search for level 1. Holy, I can't even imagine. So you're going to see them boost the attack here, which is important, because then we can go for a Typhon. But maybe we should go for a copy of Flamebirch first, or at least attempt to go for Flamebirch first. Because, like, as soon as we make Typhon, which is not even in my list anymore, like, we just can't seal the game. And at least in this position, for sure. Because they just take the cards that we have during the next turn. I think we realize that we can't win at this point. Because, like, we can beat over the castle, which makes, bounce the castle, and then beat over the level 4. We set a card and just pass. The tokens disappear. They have Vala, and then, of course, this monster on the field, which cannot activate its effects, but it can still attack. They're going to activate the Vala in the graveyard. We do chain Kieran there, but it doesn't do anything for us. I guess it's just going to be trying to destroy a card. And then we're going to see Poplar effect here. Spelling a trap. So we should have put the Link Rebo on the field so that we would have been able to at least like protect ourselves from battle. And then they're going to go for Mardell. Mardell's going to be able to summon or search out for the copy of level 4. We then can overlay for a copy of the Leviathan. Leviathan can activate its effects. That's going to be able to steal. We could actually go on for a 3 Leviathan if we wanted to, which would have been able to take all of our cards. And they can just take our monster there and then go for the Jomungle thing. We normal summon with the level 4, and that's just going to be game on board for us. And we drew into an Arvada for a turn. So we're going to be seeing the Runick Generaider end up taking the win here. I'm going to end up taking the game in some really cool ways. We did throw game 3, but that is completely on our fault. You have to make sure you remember what Runick cards, or what cards the Runick cards banished. Regardless, hopefully you're watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, see more content like this. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.